Hello everyone and welcome back. Today is December 12th. The last time I vlogged was right before our Chicago trip. So I've only had 3 vlogmases and alas, I tried vlogging the day of getting packed and ready for Chicago, but it was just complete chaos. We had to redo all the bags because it was just way too many bags. I went to sleep at 2 o'clock and as you hear, I was also getting sick. I had a throat ache, that was it though. No like mucus, nothing like stuffy nose, nada. The next day, I woke up and I felt a little better. We flew that day to Chicago and then my friends, once we got to Chicago that next day, the cold hit me. As you can possibly still hear, my voice is very rough right now. It's gotten better because it was definitely rough the last week. And we ended up going to 2 museums in Chicago, and then the last day we walked around the Navy Pier that they have to get a view of the skyline. I'm going to do a separate video for that. I want to show you guys kind of just what we did, what is kid toddler friendly, and how we just, you know, navigated ourselves in the city with babies. After that, we tried going to the Christmas market, but unfortunately we went on a Sunday, which was a beautiful day, 45 degrees, right? Granted. The lines were so long, we stood in them, but as soon as we got into the Christmas market, it was so busy. Like you couldn't even walk and we had strollers. So we literally like went in and went right back out. We found the exit and left because it was just not even enjoyable. Even if you didn't have a stroller, there was just so many people packed in there like sardines that we did not even do the Christmas market, which is such a bummer because the whole reason and point for this trip was to go to the Christmas market. But at least we saw it, I guess. And then the next day we came back, and I never mentioned it on social media or anything, but I did have a breast cancer scare kind of situation. It started all the way, I wanna say like September, August, when I felt a lump. It was actually making my arm very, very painful. This whole side was just like messed up. So I set an appointment to go get that lump checked out. And the only reason I found it was because I laid down and started feeling, and then that's when I found the lump. So I went and I had to get a mammogram, but then during the week of the hurricane, it kind of like shut down all of Tampa Bay, so they had to reschedule me. So then that next reschedule, I was able to do the mammogram. Then they found something suspicious. They did the ultrasound, which was the next step. And then after the ultrasound, right then and there, the results, they told me you have to have a biopsy. So then I went back, had the biopsy another day. They went into it that same day. And let me tell you, that hurt. Whoever said that the biopsies don't hurt, I don't know, man. But she was doing the biopsy and it's like a needle, like it's pretty big. They puncture the side of your breast wherever they have that, wherever the lump is. And they go in there and then they turn it on and then it kind of spins and takes out a little bit so that they can biopsy it. And so they told me it was not going to be painful. They lied because that ish was definitely painful. And I jolted 2 times because I could feel it. Even though they numb you, they put like numbing on you, it sucked. So essentially after that, I had to wait for the results and I got them, and that was a papilloma basically. So they said it was considered high risk and that I should definitely consider taking it out, or I would have to go every 6 months to do the ultrasound, you know, mammogram to just keep track of it. I opted for just taking it out. I didn't want it in there. I didn't, because basically they said it could develop into breast cancer just because it was an abnormal shape and it's a papilloma. So it's like starting to, you know, get bad. Luckily we found it on time, and also it was small, it wasn't that big, but they still told me you should get surgery. So after we got back from Chicago, the next day I had to go do the pre-op, and they blew my hands. I have really bad veins, like none of the doctors can find them easily. It takes a while. And she actually ended up blowing my vein where like it just pops and like it doesn't work. And then another lady had to come in and get blood work. Then yesterday, December 11th, is when I had the schedule for the breast lump removal. And that was super easy. You put you under, and then they cut the breast. They ended up cutting it underneath because of the location of it. It was just kind of deep buried inside the breast that they couldn't go through the nipple. So they ended up going under. So I have a little, I don't know, like cut this big. It's still pretty big, but right underneath, you know. They took it out, and then the next step is they're going to do another biopsy. Luckily, they said that it was a benign little lump, and it was like a papilloma though. So I think that's what it is, papilloma. And so they said that by taking it out, they're going to further do a biopsy to just really comb through and make sure that there is no red flags of cancer in there. So as of right now, no cancer, knock on wood. But you never know. They said I would get the results about, I think next Friday. So like about in a week and a half is when they're gonna give me a call, make sure that it is clear. And so hopefully we'll have good news. It was very, very stressful. The moment I found it, I started crying. I was really stressed. And throughout the process, it was very stressful, not gonna lie. It's like a waiting game. You keep waiting for these results. You're like hoping nothing bad is gonna happen. And I'm back in the waiting game again, which, you know, luckily we're in Christmas. So I'm trying to keep myself as preoccupied as possible and hope for the best, you know. Luckily we know several women who have had the same. They had the surgery, they took it out, and it came back normal. And that's, you know, what we're hoping for. But nonetheless, it is definitely something that has been on my mind for the last, I want to say 5 months. I wanted it out too because it was painful. It hurts my arm every once in a while, especially when my menstrual cycle is about to come. Or if I like have a lot of stress, it just like triggers the pain. So that's why I was like, you know what, let's just take it out and not have to go do mammograms and stuff like that, because I have no time for that. And why let something that could eventually turn bad stay in there, you know? So that is basically what's been happening. I'm gonna go back to vlogging. Hopefully we can make it by the 24th of December. I'm looking at the calendar. So we have like, I think a couple days left. I'm gonna vlog everything. This sickness, it's funny. This sickness came about in December. It always does. Every single VLOGMAS month that I start, that is what happens. That is why I do not finish, because I get sick. It never fails. I don't know what it is about December, but it's just like always, always. And now my kids are getting sick. One of them is sick, the baby. She's sleeping right now. My dad is in town because I can't lift anything more than 10 pounds is what the doctor said. So with 2 little ones, I can't lift them. I can't do much. So I need someone's help to do like all the hard lifting. And yeah, that's kind of basically where we've been. I wanted to kind of just update you guys because I feel like I always disappear in Vlogmas, and it makes me so frustrated and mad because I love Vlogmas, but crazy stuff like this happens. Sicknesses and surgery, you know, for me. So it's just, I don't know, it's a lot to deal with. But I wanted to kind of sit down and do my makeup and fill y'all in on, you know, my life. We are also trying to sort my son's school for next semester. He has not gone to pre-K daycare or anything like that. He hasn't done any sort of daycare whatsoever, but he's getting into the VPK stage. So we're trying to find somewhere where he can go for 1 semester starting in January before he goes into VPK to get used to going to school, because he obviously is here at home with me. I'm a stay-at-home mom. We don't really get to do a lot of like activities that I would love for him to do and like further develop himself. I know I said I was gonna do homeschooling, but reality is it's been a really tough year. There's been a lot of the behind the scenes personal stuff, as my breast lump, you know, was one of them that really was just consuming a lot of my attention, my mind. So we're looking into that. We're also looking into getting the kids in some sort of activity. I think we're gonna put my daughter in a dance academy. We're gonna also put my son in like, I don't even know what it is. It's like a jungle gym. Like, you know those shows where they have to go through obstacles? Ninja. It's like a ninja style gym. They have one close to our house. So we're gonna try to get him in there because we just want them to be exposed to more children other than themselves. Now that the weather is nice, we have been going outside and playing quite a bit. And they have the opportunity to just hang out with our neighbors' kids. That's why I like kind of told my husband, okay, I think it's time for him to go to school so that he can play with other kids his age too. He can learn to communicate, start speaking more, and just, you know, learn more. He knows luckily a lot of the numbers, the ABCs. So it's not like I haven't been doing anything, but it definitely needs to be in a school setting. He needs to learn how to follow directions as well. He's not very good at it because, you know, here he just gets to do whatever he wants. So I want him to kind of have that exposure of following rules, sitting down, you know, doing what the teacher says in a school setting so that when he does go to VPK, it's not like a major shock for him. Even though it's voluntary, he doesn't technically need to go, but I do want him to go. The toddler stage, to be honest, is not my favorite. I don't like it. They're just little human beings who want to do what they want to do. They're little rebels. They cry all the time. I honestly prefer the baby stage like 10 times better. And I'm sure once they get into the 5, 6, 7, it'll be fun. But right now, it's really, really hard for me to do anything at home, which is why a lot of my videos, you do not hear me talking. I just do voiceovers because if I were to leave whatever sound is happening in the background, it will either be kids screaming, crying, saying ma, 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 complaining about something. So that's why I feel like it's been a lot lately. They're getting bigger. And I feel like the oldest needs to start going to school so that I have a little bit more time to edit and really kind of put my mental health and my physical health as a priority, because when all 3 of them are home, it's very difficult for me to work out. It's very difficult for me to just edit, things like that I wish I could be doing more of, but I can't because my time is stretched too thin. And the only way that I'm able to like edit these videos is when they are asleep, and they usually go to sleep at like 8:30, 9, and then I have like a couple hours to edit. But to be honest, I really don't want to edit too long in the night, and I want to try to go to sleep earlier, because one of the goals for next year is also just, you know, focusing on our health. I want to join some sort of gym. It'll help me get out of my routine, like, I guess, disconnect from my children because I am here every day, all the time with these kids from the moment they wake up, from the moment to go to sleep. So I was telling my husband, I'm like, I really feel like I need some me time. And that me time could be just a class of some sort for 1 hour that I go work out, don't have to worry about the kids, and then just come back to my reality of having kids, right? So the goal is to join some sort of gym. I want to do Pilates, but we'll have to see because Pilates is expensive and we have a lot of expenses right now going on. So I might do this thing called the Class Pass. I follow a girl from Miami who does it, and she talks to me a lot. We kind of want to say like social media friends, but she told me about this Class Pass, and that's how she does her exercises. You can choose like from everything. Cycling, you can choose from yoga, you can even do Pilates. So I think I'm gonna get that pass and then try to make an effort to go out of the house at least 3 to 4 times a week. Not every day, but definitely like find time for myself without the kids or having to, you know, do stuff around the house, just really disconnect. Next year, we really want to try to just lose weight. My husband is also thinking about doing the same thing. He wants to do F45. A lot of people really like that. I have never done it. I looked into it, not my style. I don't like anything like that, CrossFit Insanity like mix. No, it's not my thing. So that's why I'm like looking into more Pilates or cycling. I love cycling. And yoga, hot yoga to be specific. Hot yoga is awesome. I remember doing it back in the day and loved it. So that is the goal. But yeah, I wanted to just kind of fill you guys in. You know, the breast thing is definitely something that I just haven't really spoken about. Not many people know about it either, but I wanted to kind of let you guys know that it is important to check on your breast as much as possible. Sometimes we just put that on the back burner and it's not good. Luckily, I found it early because it could have easily turned into cancer. And so that's why I encourage all of you to just check your breast regularly. I felt this lump, to be honest, since my firstborn was around. But because I've been pregnant this whole time, I always thought it was clogged duct, milk duct. So when I would go to the doctors, they would say, oh, it's mastitis, it's mastitis. And it doesn't help the fact that I've been pregnant back to back to back. So this whole time, I thought it was like something to do with mastitis. But after my last daughter, it started hurting like really, really bad after her birth. That 1 month, it was so painful that I was like, there's gotta be something that's causing it to hurt. And so I laid down, checked, and sure enough, there was a lump. And then I went down the deep like internet dive and I was like, well, normally they say that you don't have pain when you have breast cancer. Not totally the truth, not totally the case. There were a lot of women that said that that's when they discovered that they had breast cancer. A lot of them don't discover it other than like no pain, nothing like that. They just feel the lump. But other women say that when they start having pain is when they then see that there's a lump, and sure enough, it is cancer. And there's even like some influencers online here that I follow that had gone through something similar. Like same thing, they didn't have anything and then it started hurting and they found the lump and then sure enough. So knock on wood, pray for me, y'all. I hope it's nothing bad. As of right now, they say it's benign based on the biopsy. But like I said, when they did the biopsy, when they stuck that needle in, I jolted. And I'm scared that maybe she didn't actually get any valid tissue from that lump. And this surgery is basically a extract biopsy. So they had to like just take it out. The doctor did say that everything around the tissue of where it was looked great, that it wasn't like bad or anything, but nonetheless, you know, it's a double check, triple check, make sure that there is nothing there by going to another biopsy with the actual lump itself. Because from reading, a lot of times they're irregular shaped. That is a big red flag that causes cancer. And this one was irregularly shaped. And sometimes when they're irregular, it's hard to find the cancer because it could be like buried deep in it. So that's why another biopsy is happening as we speak right now. So hopefully it's nothing bad. But we do have a lot of stuff planned. I'll see how we can make it work because this really, he said that I couldn't lift for 2 weeks. That kind of sucks because I have kids, I have strollers, I have to like pick up a lot. So that really limits the things that I can do. Luckily, my dad is here, so maybe I'll go do a lot of the things with my dad. In the evenings, once my husband gets out, I'll go do a lot of things because there's several things that we want to do. We want to go to Busch Gardens. We want to go to the Tampa Zoo. They have lights illuminating the whole park. It's really pretty. We also want to try to go to Disney. And that's the one that normally I would go by myself during the day, but I can't right now because I'd have to lift the kids. So I might recruit my dad to go with me and try to do some of the free stuff that are like the gingerbread houses along all of the different hotels. They make these beautiful gingerbread houses that I've never even seen. And every year I'm like, I'm gonna go, and I never go. So I might go with my dad to go check those out. We also might go to Disney Springs. They have the Christmas tree trails. Those are really fun to just walk around and look. And then I want to try to go to Magic Kingdom and Epcot because Magic Kingdom is just beautiful, beautiful with all the decorations of Christmas. And I really want to see it in the Christmas mode. But then also Epcot does the cookie trail. That is really cool where you basically buy different cookies and then at the end you get a prize, but you get to eat as many cookies, well not as many, but you get to eat like a whole bunch of cookies. You do have to buy them, but still it's a really fun task to just kind of try all of them and they're all different. So yeah, those are the things that I want to do. We'll see if any of those things will actually happen. Today, I'm gonna try to take it as easy as possible. My little one is very, very sick, unfortunately. So with that being said, I think I'm going to do a soup with barley. And I was looking up recipes. I found one that looks promising. It looks like something my kids would eat. I'm going to probably change a few things about it, but yeah, that's the goal for today. And yeah. Oh no, she's crying. She's so stuffy. Like, I hate when babies are stuffy because they can't control the mucus and it just runs and runs. And they have such a hard time sleeping. So we're gonna be doing some soup because she's the one that eats a lot and she's not eating. So I feel like a soup might like help get some nutrients in there, some energy. And yeah, anyways, barley soup for today. I'm going to now start cleaning this kitchen a little bit while the kids are on a walk with my dad and start this barley soup. All right, we're gonna start with our celery. We're gonna chop off these ends here. And we're gonna try to cut them a little bit small, not too small, because I'm gonna be blending this, so it doesn't really matter how small they are. If you don't want it blended, then definitely cut them thin. But since we're cooking these, and then we're gonna blend them, try to do this as fast as possible.
Jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to ride in a one-horse open sleigh. A day or two ago, I thought I'd take a ride, and soon Miss Fanny Bright was seated by my side. The horse was lean and lame, misfortune seemed his lot. He got into a drifted bank and then we got upset. Oh, jingle bells, jingle.
So while that is sauteing, I'm going to cut these little potatoes. And this is going to thicken up the soup.
Oh, what fun it is to ride in a one-horse open sleigh.
Same thing with the tomato, we're gonna cut. It calls for canned tomato, but I try not to use canned tomato. I just cut the tomato itself. And it still works. Gives it flavor. All right, our veggies are looking good. We're going to add 2 spoons of minced garlic. Mix it up.
Oh, what fun it is to ride in a one-horse open sleigh. Jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to ride in a one-horse open sleigh.
All right, now that is done, we're gonna add a little bit of Italian seasoning to the soup. And then we're also going to add a bay leaf. It calls for thyme, but I don't have any, so we'll just use what we got. This is why you gotta alter sometimes recipes with what you have at home. All right, here is the bay leaf. And now we're gonna add some vegetable broth. I'm gonna add a little bit more water to this to top it off. I like to refill this with water, so that way I don't have 1,000 things to clean. All right, now we cover this and we're gonna place it in between medium and high just to get it boiling again, and then turn it down to simmer for about 30 minutes. We're gonna check in on our barley. It looks good, it looks done. So I'm going to try a little bit and then drain it. And when the soup is ready, that's when I'm gonna add this barley. I also forgot to add the salt. So we're gonna add 2 teaspoons of this, and then later on we'll check on it, see if it needs more salt or not, plus a little bit of pepper. The baby's starting to wake up, so perfect timing. I got this cooking, should be done soon. This is looking good.
real one.
We are now
Good combo working out.
going to transfer all of the soup and blend it.
Really fun.
I hope you guys enjoyed this recipe. It's super simple. You can supplement the barley with pasta if you would like, and it'll taste just as good. Like always, remember to dream big, be brave, and explore life. Until next time. Mwah.